Hi, I'm Erin Palmer, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator. Thanks for joining me for this very special presentation. Momentarily, you will hear from other co-hosts as well as frequent collaborators and the legendary Rayceen Pendarvis about the past 9 years of Team Rayceen Productions. Guests include Nia Simmons, a frequent performer with Team Rayceen Productions, including Artomatic in 2015 and 2017. Nia Monae, a frequent panelist and a performer at Art All Night and District of Pride. Ashley Elliott, aka Dr. Vivid, who has been a guest host and moderator here on the Team Rayceen YouTube channel and was a co-host at Art All Night. Monique Diop, a collaborator and volunteer with Team Rayceen Productions since 2015. Participants in this compilation will discuss their experiences from the inception of Team Rayceen Productions in 2014, during the early years of the Ask Rayceen show and Artomatic in 2015, to events with DC Public Library and Story District in subsequent years, to ongoing annual events such as District of Pride and Art All Night. Let's get started. Joining me is Monique. Hi, Monique.
Hi, how are you, Erin? So nice to see you.
It's so nice to see you. What comes to mind when you think of Team Rayceen Productions?
You know, I've had so many wonderful experiences with Team Rayceen Productions from the beginning. Even when we were at Live Nightclub, we were also at the MLK Library and then HRC. So for me, because I was with the team before the pandemic, I just think about all the live shows that we had and all the artists that we met, all the political advisors that was here to just give us advice about the LGBTQIA community. And it was just awesome. I've met so many poets, singers, dancers, chefs. It was amazing. And so every time I think about Team Rayceen, it's fondly of all the talent that they showcase in our community.
So much talent. And if you had to recollect one or two specific experiences with Team Rayceen Productions, what are some of your favorites?
I think my favorite one was probably at Live Nightclub when we had it was like an opening night, but it was an improv. And I don't know what the team was, but they got some of our cast members to come in and actually do a impromptu improv. No one had any scripts, and we just did our thing, and it was hilarious. Working with Rayceen Pendarvis is just amazing because you never know what's going to be said. So you have to just, be quick on your feet and also listen and observe and just be ready to just giggle and laugh and go with the flow.
Monique, thanks for all you do with Team Rayceen Productions. You have been involved almost since the beginning, so you've seen it through the years, all the great work, and we're very thankful for all that you've done.
Of course, and I cannot wait to work with you more in the future since I'm here. So thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you, Monique.
Thank you.
Joining us is Nia Simmons. Hi, Nia.
Hello there. So great to see you guys. Lovely to be here.
We're happy to have you. We do have a couple questions, of course. What comes to mind when you think of Team Rayceen Productions?
Well, first and foremost, I think of the person who's pretty much in charge of it all, Czar. He makes everything happen. And I've actually known him, been acquainted with him longer than I have Rayceen, actually. First met him in 2012 at one of my performances at the Artomatic Festival in Arlington, Virginia. We connected there and have just stayed in contact ever since, and was super excited when he invited me to perform on the Ask Rayceen show. I think at that time they were at Live Nightclub in 2015. And the rest, as they say, is history. I've already told him and Rayceen, they can't get rid of me now. Y'all stuck with me.
Nia, what are some of your favorite experiences with Team Rayceen Productions?
Well, definitely performing, of course. And I have the amazing distinction of being the performer that has performed the most, I believe, during the time the Rayceen show was active. I got to perform the most. I got to perform in every single venue that the show was presented at, from Live Nightclub, I think, to the MLK Library, and also the HRC building. So, I mean, it's just always been a blast, always been a super positive environment, super supportive. It's always fun to get the party with the people that come and celebrate and support the show and the audience. It's always a fun time.
Mm. Well, thank you so much for all that you do with Team Rayceen Productions, sharing your talents. You're extremely talented, so that's amazing. Thank you again.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Hi, Rebekah.
Hey, Erin.
Please tell us about your experiences with Team Rayceen Productions.
Oh man, my experiences with Team Rayceen Productions. Well, I just joined this year, so I don't have much experience, but the experience that I have had so far has been amazing. I've met a lot of new people, made a lot of new connections, and also just have been having a lot of fun. I've been learning a different side of the whole interview and interviewee process. So it's actually been fun to be a part of Team Rayceen Productions, and it comes with a lot of opportunities. So I'm just excited to be a part.
It's been a true joy getting to know you, and thank you for all you do for Team Rayceen Productions.
Well, thank you.
Joining us is Lee. Hi, Lee.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Hi, Lee. What comes to mind when you think of Team Rayceen Productions?
So many things come to mind when I think of Team Rayceen Productions. I'm smiling right now thinking about Team Rayceen Productions, and I think one of the first things is accessibility. I love the fact that everything is free. I think of innovative programming, and I think of really like dynamic programming that celebrates our community.
That's really great. What are some of your favorite experiences that you've had with Team Rayceen Productions?
I think one of my all-time favorites that I still tell people about is District of Pride 2022. Rayceen had to stall for time, and Rayceen decided to have a dance-off, an impromptu dance-off. And so Rayceen ended up having all these people come on stage. Everyone got really engaged. People started putting money on stage. And by the time everything was done, I think they were able to give out a cash prize of like $250 to the first place winner. And so it was just like really special moment at this event that wasn't even planned. And so that was a special moment.
Thank you so much, Lee, for all you do with Team Rayceen Productions.
Thank you. Hi, Yilin.
Hi, Erin. Thanks for having me.
Please tell our viewers about some of your experiences with Team Rayceen Productions.
There's been so many wonderful experiences, and actually it goes back a number of years ago. I actually was getting interviewed by Team Rayceen, and that was during the time when I was running for office here in DC. And I was just really impressed with how Team Rayceen really took the time and effort to interview all the candidates and to provide in a very objective form interview materials online for people to see. So I just had a very positive impression of Team Rayceen from the interviews, and now all the events that Team Rayceen does and goes and Rayceen hosts, and that are really all free to the public. I think it's just an amazing organization that takes the time to talk about events and important information, and is really about engaging the community in a very fun and informative way. And I would say that through co-hosting with you, Erin, and a number of our wonderful co-hosts, it's just been really a pleasure meeting so many interesting, kind, and fun people. And in particular, I have been taking time to interview candidates, not just in DC, but around the country, and also people in a lot of other fields. So it's been really fun to have this opportunity.
Incredible. Well, thank you, Yilin, for all that you do and will continue to do with Team Rayceen Productions. You are such an important and wonderful part of the team.
Thank you, Erin.
Joining us is Nia Monae. Welcome.
Thank you. Hey, y'all.
So lovely to have you here with us, Nia. Now tell me, what comes to mind when you think of Team Rayceen Productions?
Oh my gosh, so many things come to mind when I think of Team Rayceen Productions. I mean, it's like a group of different individuals who just came together, you know, just giving love to the community, opportunities. It's like a family full of togetherness and fun and so many great events. I love Team Rayceen, and I'm proud of the 9 years. I'm happy for you all.
That's lovely. What are some of your favorite experiences with Team Rayceen Productions?
Oh my gosh. So first I met Rayceen at the Whammies, and you know, she was full of energy, just so much fun. And then, you know, we did Art All Night. Oh my gosh. When I tell y'all that was like the best day ever, like it was so fun last year. It was like the challenges, the dance competitions, performing, the modeling show. It was so fun. And then, you know, this year I performed at the Lincoln Theater. And then don't get me started on the after party. We was in there lit. It was so fun. Everybody was just dancing. I'm upstairs, I'm downstairs. It was great vibes.
Love it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Krylios.
Hey.
So good to chat with you. Tell me and our viewers about some of your experiences with Team Rayceen Productions.
Awesome. Well, you know, I first met Rayceen in the spring summer of 2016 during DC Black Pride. There was a speed dating event going on, and Rayceen really just commanded the room. You would have thought that Team Rayceen Productions was behind it, but they weren't. Rayceen was just that effervescent. And so after that event, I followed Team Rayceen and Rayceen on social media. And then I saw that there was a call for volunteers. And later that fall, I first volunteered when Team Rayceen Productions was collaborating with the Real Affirmations Film Festival. And so I went there and I checked it out that night. And then the following year, when the Ask Rayceen show returned for its new season in 2017, I started being a regular volunteer there. And, you know, I volunteered there for a while, right up until the pandemic coming up, you know, right, the season premiere of March 2020, before the pandemic started, was my first time being the announcer for the Ask Rayceen show. It's the only show I got to do the announcer job for, you know, in front of people at the time. But after that, you know, Team Rayceen never stops, it never sleeps, and we moved right into online content for the rest of the pandemic. And, you know, we produced so many different panels and interviews and series and all of that. And I also, you know, ran vlog, you know, our Out with Team Rayceen vlog as well. So aside from just the online things, I am also, you know, an MC for so many of the events that we do. I co-host with Rayceen, and depending on some of the events, I might MC it myself. So I've been able to have such an amazing opportunity to be able to work with Team Rayceen, to be able to meet so many different people, to help so many different people, to display so many amazing artists and musicians and authors and just wonderful people doing amazing work in their communities, doing amazing work in promoting culture, and being able to, you know, inform people, to educate people, but also to entertain them. And it's just been a wonderful blessing being able to share my talents with Team Rayceen and us really just taking over the world together.
I love it. Thank you for all you have done and continue to do with Team Rayceen Productions. You're an incredible force, and we're lucky to have you on the team. Thank you. Joining us is Amy Saidman from Story District. Hi, Amy.
Hi. What comes to mind when you think of Team Rayceen Productions?
Oh, the first thing that comes to mind, honestly, is sunshine. I feel like they just light up a room, both Rayceen and Krylios and everybody else that's involved with Team Rayceen Productions. They just light up a room.
I love it. What are some of your favorite experiences with Team Rayceen Productions?
Well, I've had so many great experiences because we've been working together for now 5, maybe 6 years on our Outspoken Pride show, but also, and Rayceen and Krylios have hosted, and Zara's been amazing help, and Nikki, and we've just started doing more regular free workshops. I would say, though, the memory I wanted to point to was actually the first time I was introduced to all of this. A friend of mine brought me to the Ask Rayceen show that was taking place at the HRC location, and I just fell in love. It was just so spirited. Everybody was really excited to be there, and they gave so many people a platform to pitch, what they're doing. And it was just a really, really great vibe. So I was excited to get to work with them, and I'm happy that it's lasted this long.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amy. And thanks for all you do with Team Rayceen Productions.
Hi, Benjamin.
Hi, Erin.
Tell me about some of your experiences with Team Rayceen Productions.
Well, I'm fairly new to the Team Rayceen Productions team. I have co-hosted a couple of videos. I've been on panels. I've been a moderator, and I've also been a host for a couple of the Facebook Live sessions. I have enjoyed myself. There is a sense of community, a sense of family here that is all led by, of course, Rayceen Pendarvis and Zar. And so it's been a lovely experience, and I'm excited for what the future holds for us.
Benjamin, it's been such a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for all you do with Team Rayceen Productions, and I can't wait to see what comes next.
Thank you.
Joining me is Dr. Vivid. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me, Erin. Good to see you.
It's so great to see you. So what comes to mind when you think of Team Rayceen Productions?
For me, it's community and love. Every interaction that I've had, whether it's been an email, whether it's been a meeting, whether it's been a meetup or an event, you just see how much love goes into every interaction and how passionate Team Rayceen is about community, especially our queer community, but the DC community, Black community, the community at large. It's just community love.
That's beautiful. What are some of your favorite experiences with Team Rayceen Productions?
Oh my gosh. So it's my first experience was being interviewed, and it was a really fun, one of the funnest interviews that I've ever done. And then I got to be a co-host for a variety of interviews and be on panels, some of them even sharing space with you. So that's been really dope. Art All Night was one of the funnest experiences. We did Art All Night, and I got to help co-host with Mother Rayceen, and just, again, community, joy, fun. The comedic timing of Mother is impeccable. Just seeing that, getting to see how loved the team is by the community. If you can be anywhere for daggone near like 10 plus hours and have fun the entire time, it's amazing. And then the honor of being able to host the panel and facilitate the panel for the National Museum of African American History and Culture. They did a panel on ballroom icons with Mother Rayceen being one of the panelists. We had Tracy Africa, Twiggy Poochie Garçon, Kevin Aviance, just seeing how much they loved each other, knowing the history that they have as far as the queer community, and being able to sit and smile and dance with the team all night long, and introducing my mother to Mother Rayceen and seeing the respect and that they have for one another. It was beautiful. I teared up that night because it was just so much joy in that space. This is one of my favorite things that I've ever done.
Incredible. Culture, history, joy, community. You touched on some really important things and contributions. And I want to thank you for all you've done and will continue to do with Team Rayceen Productions. It has been so awesome to get to know you.
Oh, thank you. It's been awesome. And I just want to congratulate the team again on 9 years. Some teams can't make it 6 months. So on 9 years of being passionate, being engaged, and being authentic about the work they're doing in the community. And it's a pleasure to be connected to a team that is so dope.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you.
Joining me is Erin. Hey, Erin.
Hello.
Please tell us about your experiences with Team Rayceen Productions.
Well, it's been a whirlwind. I think my first exposure was running for DC Council Chairwoman, where both you and Rayceen interviewed me at different points. And I found the interviews really invigorating. They just gave me like a ton of energy. They felt really good and positive and constructive. And then Czar, the producer, started sending me invitations to various things, including panels and programming. And probably the turning point event that I think really cemented me as a part of the team is that my oldest child, who's 12, was invited to model in the fashion show at Art All Night. And so we came to that event, the entire family. The kids were able to meet Rayceen, and the rest is kind of history from there. I felt very much a part of the family since then.
Thank you so much, Erin. We love having you.
Thank you. Joining us is Josh. Hi, Josh.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Great. What comes to mind when you think of Team Rayceen Productions?
Oh my gosh, a lot of things. Probably the biggest piece being like the focus on community and the sort of like amplify the work to amplify what everybody else is doing. And that's sort of a really valuable thing that I've grown to like love as someone who's been on the platform, but also someone who gets to watch what's going down. So I really love that Team Rayceen Productions is always looking to make sure that the good work that's happening in the community gets visible across all of its platforms, which is, you know, people don't really like to do that these days. They don't like to give up the space to make sure everybody else's work gets seen.
I love it. What are some of your favorite experiences with Team Rayceen Productions?
Oh my gosh. So I meant to actually do this one day where I wanted to go back to look at our early Facebook Lives. When Black Gay Stuck at Home, the project that I co-created with Michael, started in the like literally at the start of the pandemic to sort of, you can kind of track our panel or our chats with like the course of the pandemic, and sort of I kind of wanted to go back and watch to relive like the craziness of that time, because it was such a weird and unusual space to be in. But it was really nice to have those sort of like bi-weekly check-ins on Facebook with Rayceen and with Krylios, and making sure that, you know, we were checking in on each other as we were sort of wading through the thick of things. But it's always been like a beautiful, mutually beneficial, lovely sort of relationship that I hold near and dear to my heart. So all of the sort of pandemic stuff oddly brought us together in that particular way. So I'm really thankful for that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Josh. And thanks for all you do with Team Rayceen Productions.
Joining me is the goddess of DC, Rayceen Pendarvis.
Greetings and salutations all.
Rayceen, what comes to mind when you think about Team Rayceen Productions?
So much comes to mind when I think about Team Rayceen Productions. I think about during the time when the Ask Rayceen show was in its height and in its glory. Our production manager 9 years ago had the idea, Czar, had the idea of creating Team Rayceen Productions, expanding what we were doing, reaching out across all genres, all ages, and creating this wonderful experience outside of the Ask Rayceen show, partnering up with wonderful organizations, and creating so much like the Team Rayceen YouTube channel. So many wonderful volunteers have come along, and I like to thank them during this journey. And what this has looked like for us, it has been a joy of fellowship, unity, and so many amazing things when I think about the Team Rayceen production. I think about how it's growing, how it's just not Rayceen anymore. It's a collection of like-minded individuals wanting to build a better community for all.
Beautiful. Rayceen, you've obviously been involved since the beginning. What are some of your favorite experiences with Team Rayceen Productions?
Some of my favorite experiences are the backstage moments, the stuff that folks never see, the joy, the laughter, me sometimes falling on my butt backstage and getting back up and on with the show, you know, and the wonderful experiences we've had, our wonderful sponsorships with wonderful organizations and allowing them to believe in our vision and creating Team Rayceen Productions. And they have helped us grow it to where it is today. And the vision beyond. Some of the wonderful experiences are being involved in District of Pride, Artomatic, All Art All Night, and some of those wonderful partnerships that have continued today. So that is the joy and the wonderful experiences that I hold dear to my heart.
Thank you for all you do for Team Rayceen Productions. It wouldn't exist and be what it is without you. And we all look forward to seeing what you and Czar accomplish in the future. Thanks so much, Rayceen.
Thank you.
On behalf of Team Rayceen Productions, thanks to everyone who has participated in this journey, including volunteers, sponsors, community partners, vendors, performers, interview guests, panelists, attendees, and viewers. We also want to take this opportunity to acknowledge several people who contributed to the success of Team Rayceen Productions, whose lives ended much too soon. Poet and activist Venus Thrash, DJ and music producer Juan Allure, comedian and arts advocate Sean Fisher, and dedicated volunteer and website creator Vance Matthews. As Team Rayceen Productions enters its 10th year, we look forward to continued success and new adventures led by the creative director and founder of Team Rayceen Productions, the one and only Czar. Let me get my drink ready. Please follow Team Rayceen Productions on social media to learn about what's new and upcoming. Ooh, you heard that pop, didn't you? Ah! Here's to 9 years of entertaining, informing, educating, and inspiring. Cheers.